All right, words of wisdom. This was put on my heart. I had 3 words that I would like to share. And it's funny that 2 of them have the prefix re, R-E. And we know that prefix means to do again, to repeat, back and forth, over and over again. You know, something that is reoccurring, something that happens repeatedly. All right, but 3 words I want you all to focus on today: retreat, resort, and practice. Retreat, resort, and practice. These are my 3 words of wisdom for this particular message. Now, I have on my workout shirt, and that's the thing. When we work out, that is a practice that we incorporate into our lives. So we need to make sure we also have a resort and a retreat in addition to our practices, because things change and we want to make sure our actions are measured. Now, let's look at the word retreat. As it relates to an army, it means to withdraw from enemy forces as a result of superior power or defeat. Now, sometimes we are defeated. Sometimes we're just beaten, battered, bruised, busted up, and done. But sometimes we encounter forces that are superior to our power. And that doesn't mean that we have to fight and die. That means we may have to incorporate another strategy of battle, and that is to retreat. Get away, get out, get back, get down, move around, whatever. You got to go. All right. An act of moving back or withdrawing. Just pretty much sum that up. A signal for a military force to withdraw. But this is the good one. This is what I want us to make sure we think of a retreat. Don't always think of it as, okay, what you gonna do, fight or run? Run. Don't think of it this way. A retreat. To withdraw to a quiet, secluded place in which one can relax. Now, the current state of affairs have led us to do just this. It's asking us to retreat. It's asking us to run. It's asking us to avoid certain settings and situations. And in these actions, we need to make sure that we're just not running from a superior force just for the sake of running or trying to get away or being overly emotional and worked up about where it might reveal itself. But let's just think about, okay, let's not think about that. Let's think about this. Where's that quiet place? Where's that happy place? Where is that secluded area where I can gather my thoughts? Now, right now, we may have to readjust and find that place again because we can't go out to those areas, whether it be your hangout spot, your pubs, your sports gatherings, your gyms, things of that nature. You got to find another happy place. So now that retreat may very well just be sitting in a room in the house that nobody often goes into. It might even be your closet. You know, people have prayer closets. It might be in your car. It might be on the back patio. It might be in the washroom. It might be in the bathroom. It might be in the storage room. Somewhere around your area, you need to find your retreat to get you a moment, because sometimes being around the people we love, we can have some conflicts. We can have some issues, some disagreements. So we got to be able to find that retreat. So in these tough times and in these unique times, find a retreat. Withdraw to a quiet, secluded place in which you can relax. All right. So don't think of it just in this light of, hey, we're going to run. We got to flee. Just find that happy, secluded place. Now, to help drive home my idea of retreat, I'm going to take it a step further. When you're in battle, you're in conflict, you've made that choice. But another definition of retreat is to change one's decision, plans, or attitude as a result of criticism. Now, we may not have the criticism part, but we are definitely in a state where we had to change our plans, change our decisions, and change our attitude, because some of us didn't believe that we would have to stay away from public places, stay away from gatherings. Now they're down to gatherings more than 10. We didn't know that. That is a total shock to our attitude, our plans, and the decisions that we make on a day-to-day basis. And another definition of retreat, just throw this in here. Stocks are reclining. I'm sorry, I said reclining, declining, but you get it. Stocks are declining in value, retreating, falling. So in the midst of all this chaos or, conflict, confusion, find that happy place. Find that happy place. Find that retreat. Psalms 119, the 114th verse says, "You are my retreat. I wait for your word to renew me." Renew me. That re keeps coming up. That re. Prefix. Retreat. Renew. Resort. Refresh. This just nothing but a restart. It's just a repeat. It's just a reminder to let you know that the word is powerful. But you got to be able to understand it, consume it, and apply it properly. But we're going to get the application in a moment. Now, all this advice to retreat is leading us to resort to some things. All that advice to retreat is leading us to resort to some things. Now, in resorting, we know that if you've ever been on vacation, you may have visited a resort, a place that is a popular destination for vacations and recreation. That place is what they call a resort. But we know we can look at resort in a number of ways. The action of turning to and adopting a strategy or course of action. Resort. That's when you make a choice and take action. I'm going to take it a step further. Especially a disagreeable or undesirable one. You caught that? As to resolve a difficult conflict. Oftentimes we hear people say, or we use resort in this way. People resort to violence. Or let's go visit the resort, as in vacation. Around your place, around your domain, while we can't travel, we're going to have to find that happy place once again. Got to find that retreat. Got to find that resort. And have that recreation where we can relax, refresh, renew, re-energize, and push on, press on. But we must not resort to violence, chaos, confusion, and craziness. We just can't. We must resort to actions that will be positive and helpful. And in resorting to those actions, your normal routine practices should already guide whatever actions you choose to resort, to which you choose to resort. Which leads us to that third term, practice. When we practice, I said practice. We're talking about practice, y'all. Practice. Practice is the application or use of an ideal, belief, or method as opposed to the theories relating to it. I'm going to read that again because some of y'all didn't catch it. When you practice, well, the definition of practice is the actual application or use of an ideal, belief, or method as opposed to the theories relating to it. All right, I'm going to break this down for a moment. the actual application, the stuff you've been reading about, the stuff you've been studying, you are actually applying it when you practice it. And we know practice can be that time before the game that we spend to prepare for the game. We know that practice is also the habits in which we choose to engage in our day-to-day life. Customary, habitual, expected procedures. Practice. We perform an exercise. Practice. We carry out or perform a duty or task. Practice. But we know we have to develop our practices, and our practices must grow to match the person, the physical abilities, the current situation of their life. So we need to make sure we have the right practices. Now, the thing about this particular definition that gets me is it says the actual application or use of an idea, belief, or method. The actual application of it. And then it goes on to say, as opposed to theories relating to it. Theories. Now, theories, you know, may know what theory means, but just to clarify, a supposition or a system of ideas. I'm going to start over. A supposition, supposedly, suppose, the way it's supposed to be, or the way some of y'all say posed to be. A supposition or system of ideas a supposition or system of ideas intended to explain something. A supposition or system of ideas intended to explain something. Basically, a theory is just something that explains the way something should be, the way it is supposed to be, the way it is supposedly. All right. But we know that in practice, it does not always go the way it is supposed to go. We know in practice, this is the actual application or use of the ideas, beliefs, and methods. So when we see how it is, we have to have some sort of practice in place in order for it to go the way it should go. So all I just want you to do is this. Have some practices that will help you produce and progress in the way that you should. Have a resort in your heart that nobody can take away from you. Have that happy place. Have that strategy, that course of action to handle things in a way that people just can't even believe you handle it in that manner. Have that retreat. Have that quiet, happy place in which you can seclude yourself from others. You can hide yourself from them threats and the danger and frustration and words and all that negativity. You can get away from it. You have the superior power to get away from it and get in your happy place. And make sure that you resort to the correct course of action. Don't get off task. Stay focused. Stay aligned. Because live in your reality. The other day I was looking at Facebook and they had a word search and it said the first 3 words you see will be is your reality. The first 3 words I saw was alignment. That means you had to be focused, straightforward, on track, not off track, on task, not off task. Gratitude. You got to be grateful. You got to be thankful. You got to be appreciative. You got to want things to be better for you. So you got to appreciate the stuff you have. And you got to have that connection, that strong connection. But then I took it a step further. I saw that they had 2 more words that jumped out to me. And those 2 words were family and strength. I must be aligned to have this strong family connection in order to increase my strength. And I will be so grateful to see the fruits of my labor, to see how I will reap what I've sown, just to see my reality come into play. And basically, the things of it is this. These 3 words came to me. And then I came up with this message, delivered it. But I didn't give you the other two verses. Now, the next verse that applies to the next word, when the word speaks, the word speaks. And that's why I named this message Words of Wisdom. Because sometimes we overthink this stuff. Sometimes we underthink this stuff. When it's just words of wisdom, take it at its value. Take it for what it is. Don't try and add nothing to it. Don't try and take nothing from it. Just read it, understand it, consume it, apply it, practice it. Now, just a review, because I'm about to get up out of here. Psalms 119, the 114th verse. You are my quiet retreat. I wait for you. I wait for your word to renew me. Resort, Psalms 71 and 3. I would love for you to read that whole chapter, but as it says here, be to me a rock of refuge in which to dwell, and a sheltering stronghold to which I may continually resort, which you have appointed to save me, for you are my rock and my fortress. That means you don't always have to go out there and fight, shoot. You know what I mean? You don't have to be, sometimes you have to just hide. Sometimes you have to sit still. Sometimes you have to stand still. Sometimes you just have to be covered. And that is your best defense. That is your best defense. And finally, with practice. Let me get to 1 Timothy. 1 Timothy, the 4th chapter and the 15th verse. Practice these things. Immerse yourself in them, so all will see your progress. So I want each and every one of us find that retreat, get to that retreat, or retreat to that retreat. Resort to that course of action that's going to help you and not hurt you. And make sure that retreat is a resort, is a destination, is a place where you can relax, be quiet, be safe, be secluded, and be away from everything. And finally, make sure those practices are in place that can help you be even better, be more prepared for the next thing. Because sometimes we have things that come along and we don't even know about. But I know that basically what I'm telling you is keep the faith. Show the faith and be that example of faith. Retreat, resort, and practice. We know the word is our quiet place of retreat. We know our fortress to resort. And we know we need to practice these things in order that everyone can see our success and we can be a beacon of light to show them hope, encouragement. And to show them that say, hey, I'm okay. You're okay. We're all okay. But there's some things you got to work out in order to work that in. So I just want you to all be great, be blessed. I don't have anything else. I mean, amen and a benediction, you know.